So it is the start of autumn, and it is my turn. So let's get started.
Hiya!
Let's do it.
The King of Clubs.
Oh, good.
Natural disaster strikes the area. Choose one.
Down.
You focus on getting everyone to safety, remove an abundance, and a project fails, or you focus protecting your supplies and hard work at any cost. Several people die as a result.
How natural does the disaster have to be?
As a reminder, we had earthquakes like right at the
Yeah.
end of last time. We could just roll with
We had
that.
earthquakes, and I said there are increasing winds, but I am going to go with
Oh, that's
earthquake.
what those whooshies are. That's right.
Yeah, there was increasing wind at the end. I'm going to say that it is the problem. It is a kind of a mix of the both. It is the earthquakes and the increased wind, and it has just become like dangerous with like debris from the mountain coming down, like chunks of ice. I am going to say we remove the abundance of fresh water, as our thing is now not that there's no fresh water at all anymore, but it's not a scarcity, it's just no longer an abundance, as this river is now clogged up with chunks of ice. And the rebellion fails as everyone is now too focused on saving what little community we have to actually come up with a plan to defeat these people. So that is it for my actual action, or for my draw phase. Project clocks reduced, but we now have 0 projects in the work.
We got nothing. Can reduce no farther.
I feel like the Endless Watchers could have done something to stop it, but chose not to because maybe they sensed a rebellion on the wind.
Considering there was one like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's a part of the Eternals.
So I'm going to start a project as my last action. I think after it has been a very long time and we've spent time collecting these crystals, I think there's going to now be a push to figure out like the nature of these crystals and actual research into them. Maybe either if they are created, how to create them, or like their actual properties, because they have been around since the beginning and we have just amassed these things without actually studying. So
I thought Dave did a whole thing about studying.
No, Dave did collecting them. We haven't studied them at all.
Yeah, but the Endless Watchers have them all now. Maybe they're looking into it.
Not all. We never said all. They have a majority of them. They don't have them all.
But also, you could go to the woods and get more technically if you wanted to.
Only if you want that clock to tick down.
we did say we were going to back off on that, but I'm going to say there is a group. I'm going to say it's going to take a while because we are dealing with other things. And I don't think there's a ton of like researchers in the community, maybe like a handful. So I'm going to say it's going to take 5 weeks.
So much research.
So crystal research. And that is my entire turn. And I will draw the things while someone else, Maria draws next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a 8.
One important thing to point out, Jason, is that just because you invent something doesn't mean you have carte blanche over it.
Yeah,
this
correct.
Is true.
So, like, somebody else can be like, oh, you know what? The crystals are actually rabbits.
Crystals are wonky. All right. Someone sabotages the project and the project fails as a result. Who did this? Why?
I don't know. Maybe the Endless Watchers don't like ever messing with the fucking
Or
crystals.
someone is caught trying to sabotage the efforts of the community. How does the community respond?
At this point, this thing writes itself.
Literally, though. So that's the best thing about autumn and winter. By this point, the game literally runs itself. Okay, so I think just like y'all kind of said, the Watchers found out that other people were starting to study the crystals, and I think the Watchers understand the immense magical properties of these crystals. So I think that they try to. Well, no, I think they are successful. I think that they wreck house. And the research on the crystals stops, or at the very least is stunted so much that there's not like any chance currently of doing like any sort of progress on it, because they basically come in, either break the crystals excuse me, or just take them, the ones that are so like. People could go back into the forest. They could go, and they said they weren't going to, but they could go back out there and find more. But like, there's earthquakes and bad stuff out there. Why would we do that? Yeah, so that's... Things are happening very slowly here. Do we still have an abundance of crystals?
I'd say someone does. I don't.
I wanna
Maybe
say
not our
the
community.
Endless Watchers do.
That's fair. I'm gonna put... Here's what my addition to this is gonna be. I'm gonna put... because it's very fast. Little... Oh, I don't want them to be red eyes, though. Hang on. There we go. I want to give the Watchers angry eyebrows. angry Watchers. The angry eyebrows. And then what I want to do is I want to hold a discussion. And this is going to be the researchers who were trying to make some headway on these magic crystals. And Jason, how discussions work, we're going to go around. Each of us are going to input into this discussion. If you start a discussion, you can either make a statement, and then everyone else gets to make a statement in response, or you can ask a question as the first person. Everyone gets to make a statement in response, and then you get to make a closing statement. If you start with a question, I'm going to start with a statement. I don't think there's like a head of the like main body of the village. I think everybody's on fairly equal terms here. It's like everybody versus the Watchers. But one of the louder people like slams their hand on the table and says, "We can't let these Watchers take everything from us. We deserve to know what's going on as much as they do."
You speak of the rebellion, but the rebellions have failed time and time again. That's my legit input.
He's very good. Excuse me.
How do you suppose we go about stopping them? I answer your statement with a question.
What would Jesus do?
I think perhaps our mistake has been trying to fight them on something they excel at, like trying to figure out the crystals from underneath them, or trying to rebel against them when they have all the power. I think we need to start thinking outside the box.
Jason, you say something.
You get to say whatever
Everybody
you want.
quiet. The Elder is about to speak for the first time in this year. This 1 year.
The newest elder, because our elder Hutch died.
He was the second Elder.
He was the second eldest snail in the land.
We should appease them with a sacrifice.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
This is why we don't let the elders talk.
The Elders are stuck in the old ways.
Awesome. Well, that's our discussion. Keep that in your heads for future time stuff. Yay.
Dave.
Okay. I got Ace of Clovers. Whatever the fuck.
Ace of Clovers.
Aces.
There you go.
The community becomes obsessed with a single project. Which one? Why? Choose one. They decide to take more time to ensure that it is perfect. Add 3 weeks to a project. Do we even have a project?
No,
And
so
then drop everything else to work
above
on.
the table, towards the end, you want to have projects, because if you don't have projects, just a bunch of bad things happen.
Yes, as you can continue reading, there is something after all.
There's a
Yes.
scarcity born from idleness if there are no projects underway. Which there are no projects underway. So, the scarcity is, I want to say, food. We're starting to run low on food because everyone's too scared to do anything at this point. We keep trying to figure out ways to stop the Watchers. The Watchers keep thwarting it, and we haven't been doing anything else. Well, we haven't been doing anything to ensure our survival, or a lot of us have been trying so hard. Like, not a majority of us, like it used to be, are focusing on that.
So would then that take away our abundance of fruit if there's a scarcity of food? There was also, I forgot to put, there's fruit trees.
Yeah, they're at the base of the mountain or something, aren't they?
Yeah, there's like... Boop, boop, boop.
Yeah, I want to say the fruit's probably gone.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
It's not
I would
abundant.
say so.
All the fruit's gone. Hutch took it with him.
Hutch took it into the
Only what you
great.
take with you.
You are what you eat, after all.
Or
There
I
are
want to
no
say,
prices.
even better. The thing that lives under the forest decided to eat our planted fruit trees because it didn't understand what they were. It just thought it saw them as like a foreign thing, and it wanted to eat it and try it.
It's gone.
The thing
So
under
there
the
are no
mountain's full of fruit now.
There are
We
no
have to
project
kill
dice
it.
produced.
Huh?
So, Dave, what are you gonna use your action?
I want to make a project to.
Good choice. Good choice.
I want to say we need to. I want to say get back to like the project should be like focusing less on the Watchers. Essentially trying to get back to our roots of what makes this community successful. We've been so paranoid, and while they are kind of terrifying, I don't think they've done anything against us yet.
Oh.
They've only done really extreme things against our threats and enemies. So while they're kind of scary and everything like that, I think it's time we stopped focusing so much on the Watchers and got back to what made us us.
What is that? What is your
Sling
project?
Return to community.
Build a better community.
And I want to say it'll take 3 weeks. Because we got a lot to do. Because we just ran out of food.
Yep.
And that's
Hooray.
it.
All right, Sam.
Okay. Let's see. You gotta tell me if anybody's. I got a a Jack.
Nope.
Not a Joker.
Yeah.
A Joker of clubs.
There you go.
A project finishes early. Which one? Why? If there are no projects underway, we have a project though.
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what? The
exactly
Watchers aren't
one.
really that bad. We could get back together in no time. It's fine.
Yeah. So a really quick. Sorry, I just ate mac and cheese and it's like lodged in my throat.
Oh my god, give me some.
It was good. Go back to the thing. Or wait, no, I got it. Build a better community, and in no time flat, they did just that. There was
That's
much
we were focusing on the Watchers. It just took no time.
Yeah, it turns out everybody was happy. We bought a Nintendo Switch and
And a trampoline.
the trampoline.
Big old tramp.
Everybody got really into Sling Bowl for a little while.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
And they created
back around.
the Fantasy Sling Bowl League. And it's a fantasy game within a fantasy game.
Hashtag go King Squirrels.
You go King Squirrels versus the Belowers. And and that's kind of about it.
Yeah, I like it.
So it's nice and simple.
Right.
Did we change
Right on
any
the
of our
map.
scarcity due to that? Like, did we get food or anything? Or
I mean,
I
maybe
don't think so.
Well, the community.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, we
There's
got
no
a
longer
community.
scarcity, I think.
Yeah, community wouldn't be a scarcity.
Should we make it an abundance now?
Yeah, if you want to, if you think it's that
I
good.
feel like it would
Yeah.
be, right? I mean,
That makes
otherwise,
sense.
what's the point?
now have
Yeah.
the Watchers done anything when we weren't looking?
That's no.
Mm.
Well, now
We'll
I
find
got.
out.
So now I do discussion or discovery or project.
Yes.
Yes,
I've
but also
actually-
you
I
have
don't
to,
think of
draw. You get to draw on some more stuff. Draw your community.
I mean, you don't do that on your turn though. You can. Do
That's
that
true.
on
Yeah,
I'll
that's
do
true.
it.
That's true.
Not on my turn. I'm just gonna draw jerseys on the Sling Bowl guys.
Hell yeah.
So what are you gonna do for your action?
I think we're gonna start a new project because we're
project?
lacking.
A good choice.
Now that we got our community back on, it's time to observe the
Time
endless
to go.
watches again.
we gotta
We
figure
gotta-
out what the Watchers.
We gotta
do.
figure
Yeah,
out
I'm
what's
glad we
happening.
did that thing, but we still have watching to
Time to
watch.
tear our community apart once more.
Let's go.
No, it's gonna be a matter of this one's going to be to subvert the endless watchers. We're gonna stroke their egos and try and get on their good side, but all the while we're gonna be spying on them.
With a sacrifice.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
Is that such? Get out of here!
Sucks.
How long is it gonna take, Tom?
I think it's gonna be a 4-week observation, spying, sweetening the pot
I see. So we're watching the Watchers.
We watch who watches the
We'll
Watchers.
say something that was brought up last time we played. Just if things do pop up from last time that we may have forgotten. It was mentioned in one of the roundtable discussions that since there are only 6 Watchers, we might be able to convince them to take another on as a 6th.
Are there only
from the
5
community.
now? I thought one of
because
them
there's
died.
5 now. Yeah.
That's
we're
what I'm saying.
This
They're
could be
missing
part of
one to make to
Oh.
get an in. That was something that was discussed during one of the roundtables.
Yeah, maybe we have one of our guys who has not been named yet. His name will be finally. I can do Glenjamin.
Glenjamin.
Hey, Glenjamin.
Glenjamin they've taken a shine to Glenjamin, and
Yeah.
now we're as a community we're like, no, you gotta go for it, and you gotta tell us everything they're doing. So Glenjamin's our spy.
Glenjamin the spy. Hell yeah.
He's a fledgling watcher, but not really a watcher.
Cool. Awesome. Jason.
Okay. I got a 4.
Okay, 4 is right up there.
Oh no.
What have you done?
Read it aloud to the
Read it
class,
aloud.
Yeah,
Jason.
we all got here.
The strongest among you dies. What caused it? Or the weakest has died, and who is
Please
to blame?
don't make it Glenjamin. We really gotta
The
make progress
second
in
we
the
Not
story.
Glenjamin. Oh,
5
wait,
seconds.
Never mind.
And it could be someone you create too. It doesn't have to be someone already established. You could create this person and describe them.
Yeah, you can give them a name, a personality, and everything, and then kill them.
So, Peter walks out. He's trying to gather, and all of a sudden, he's green. He's not too keen on the world.
Is he actually green though? Because that's a possibility.
He might be.
Okay.
He might be, and that may be why he's so sickly and weak, and he's gathering and lost track of time, and a midnight talon emerges and devours him.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Damn.
Amazing.
I love the 2 differences of stick people that are being drawn right now.
Yeah.
I forgot to draw anything on my turn, so I just drew people to form a community.
That's good.
Perfect. I assume that this is Glenjamin.
This is Glenjamin.
Man, I
Cool.
wish I could draw.
Oh my god. How do you spell Glenjamin?
Glenjamin.
Excellent. There he
So,
is.
Jason, now the project clocks tick down, so there are now 3 weeks on the Glenjamin infiltration, and then you get to take an action. Whether it's discover something, hold a discussion, or start a project.
I'm gonna do a project as well.
Cool.
I'd like to gather townsfolk and have a scouting party to start looking for either more sources of food or any kind of other discoveries.
Okay. We have so there was just recently formed a party that does that. The Wanderers, a group of 10 to 12 who are willing to go out and explore. So you could send them on an expedition you're looking for either food or other things, right?
Yeah. Okay, so all right, yeah, I'll send out the Wanderers for
How long?
2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. Cool. Awesome. And that's it. I will, and then you can draw that however you want.
Well, I think the Wanderers are already on the board.
They sure are. Now you gotta figure out how to make what you said make on the board do. But also, you have to draw Peter dead.
Okay.
So
Peter.
have fun. It's not obviously it's not about how well you can draw. It's how well you can tell us what you
It's
mean.
about how well you can dream.
That's about fantastic. I got a 2. Someone returns to the community where were they?
The Wanderers.
Or you find a body. Do people recognize who it is and what happened?
Oh no.
There are several ways I could go with this, so
There
let me think
really
for a
are.
second.
There's
There's a
so
lot of
many.
Really, a lot
so
of
many
different ways.
people that left and could come back dead.
Yeah, they could come back or could come back dead.
There's a big one. There's a big one.
There's a couple.
There's a big one floating in the air right now.
I know. That's one of them.
There's also a bunch down below.
Yeah, you're correct.
And Ron and Hutch to just
Ron.
be not dead.
Well, we all watched Hutch die. We all did watch Hutch
He just
die,
walks out of
actually,
the
though.
forest. What the fuck?
Hey, what's going on?
Wait, why does Hutch have legs, though?
You
What happened?
Wait, is he like an actual fucking snail?
Yes.
I thought
Hutch
he
is
was
a
like a
giant
snail
snail.
person.
He's a legitimate giant snail.
Legitimate giant snail.
No, that's what I like about Ty's imagination. Whenever he says something is a thing, he doesn't mean it's like a thing.
It just
is
is a
the
thing.
thing.
Like Douglas the fir tree.
Just ushering a legitimate tree with sunglasses.
Fir tree.
Oh,
It's far
Jason,
better
it's
that
so
way.
good and terrible.
Um,
How tragic.
Peter, we barely knew you.
Peter, you were eaten by the wolf.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
where that
what an
myth
honor.
comes from.
There it is.
What
We
an
made
ironic
it.
death.
Right there next
Okay,
to the
all right.
pink squirrel.
I'm going to do the second. We wake up one morning and at like the foot of, let me ping it, like right here after all the ice chunks. Oh, I can't. How do you ping things again?
You can't. Well, you could. I don't remember.
fine.
But
Fuck it.
but
Right by.
Oh.
We're basically right under
Oh.
where. On the like base of the peak, right where like after all the ice chunks are.
Right there.
Yeah, they're right there. We find a body, not dead, but heavily altered. Is the body of Floor. There are strange like mechanical parts to her body that weren't there before, integrated like into her skin, into her flesh, fused together. But the body is comatose, still alive, but not unable to be roused.
oh yeah, Jason, that was another thing. So the wheelhouse down here on the bottom left, that big wheel, we found it in this lake. We don't know what it is. It's not it's kind of a wheel. It's enough of a wheel that we turned it into a wheel, but there's weird mechanical steampunk East things that we don't know.
So that's what the body we find. It is now only 1 week left for the expedition, and only 2 weeks left for for Glenjamin's mission. And on my turn, I'm going to start a project as well. We need some projects going. Something that hasn't been done though. I am going to say Jason's kind of got food covered.
Yeah, if we get food, then the fish scarcity isn't going to be an issue
Yeah.
either.
Our scarcities are fish and food.
It's just
Lure.
food and seafood.
So I want to do her in the same style as I did.
Okay. All right, that's fine. I will say the project should have to be something different.
Oh, Tom, you could just move Fleur. You could just move your little Fleur drawing down there.
Don't you dare tell me that now.
No. You can move things.
come
You don't
too
have
far.
to erase them.
I'm gonna say we have the spy project going, and it's not necessarily that the group that our community once again immediately wants to go to a way to defeat the Watchers, but I think building defenses as a general note is not a bad idea. So I think I think that is the next project, is just finding more defensive options, like whatever that may. I don't think there is a clear picture yet, whether it's more magic based, physical based, technology based. But I think there is a general push in the community to be more defensive or offensive, but to find some sort of weaponry. So I'm going to say arm ourselves as the project, and I'm going to say that is a 3-week endeavor.
I do enjoy how we name our projects, the same projects, very differently. I go for a less conventional naming method.
Yes. And that is it for my turn.
It's me.
Body.
9. The community works constantly, and as a result, a project finishes early, or a group goes out to explore the map more thoroughly and find something that had been previously overlooked.
You could do that both ways. If you wanted. Because the Wanderers are out there, and that could be a project that finishes early.
Well, that's finishing this. That's about to finish, so do not. That's a
yeah.
shitty one to finish early.
Yeah, that would suck. No, I think. Let me see. I think that a group, because it's not super far away, I think that there's a small group that goes out to explore the shadows, because it's been empty, supposedly, for a while. And that while they are there, they notice that it's empty. There's no one here. But in the, because it's kind of in like a little bit of a hollow, right? Is that what we established? It's kind of
It's
set
like a cave, like a built-in cave, I think.
Yeah, in the walls of that kind of dugout cave area, there are small holes, like tunnels even, that people of the community, I mean, they could probably fit through them, but they're strangely the size of blowers.
Who said it?
Blowers.
Blowers.
Who are the blowers? What's the blower?
Find out next week.
On blower.
On
the
blowers.
Blowers.
Who
Show-
hashtag who
blower.
killed Peter? A wolf. It was a wolf. We figured this out.
We saw the wolf.
We saw the wolf do it.
Yeah. It took me everything, y'all, to not make them like just people-sized holes and make a ginger
Specifically,
dough.
but lower size,
Yeah.
which are about the same size as real
Wolf.
people.
Fluid
Yeah.
2.0.
Yeah.
Is that so? It is now 1 week till Glenjamin. So Jason, the Wanderers expedition finishes. What did they find?
Sorry, I was writing Peter's name for his short time.
We miss him so much.
Miss him a whole bunch.
I'm going. Let's see. They found. They found an abundance of deer, and were able to bring back meat and leather.
Nice.
Good. Yeah, I'll say that's
That's good.
about as successful as they were.
Yeah, doesn't have to be any more than that. Awesome. So we could probably get rid of food.
Do we have abundance? No, but we have enough to survive.
Yes. And what action are you gonna take?
Okay. Alright, so we're making defenses. We're about to get into the Watchers with our good man Glenn. Let's see. Remind me where we stand with the Ice Dryads. They
don't hate us. We're on good terms with them. It's just that the Telva, Orin, and Delia left to go back be with them. We're still on good terms with them. They just our diplomats have left.
Okay. So actually, I think what I'm going to work on is another project. I think this is in response to poor Peter getting eviscerated by one of the Midnight Talons. I think that there is a very big pushback, not against familiars in general, but against the Midnight Talons in specific. And I don't think that people want to just like straight up murder them because the big horse doggos. But I think there's enough of a pushback that they're going to relocate the Midnight Talons somewhere else. Maybe closer to like the other side of the boundaries or lower down in the mountains, but they're too dangerous to be kept here. So I think that there's going to be a relocation project.
How long is that going to take?
Oh, I don't think too terribly long. I think 2 weeks to just like find a good spot, drop them off, and be like, go be free.
Awesome. Dave.
It's me. I pull a 6. We done 6?
We have not.
Oh, introduce a dark mystery among the members of the community, or conflict flares up among community members, and as a result, a project fails. These are both spicy. Let's see.
Tasty. You need some spice.
A dark mystery.
Oh, I love a good dark
Hey,
mystery.
honestly, every project failing could be good. Like, any one of these projects failing could be hilarious.
I like the idea of a dark mystery, though. So
Yeah,
add
that's good
something
too.
Well, we have
new.
so many things too, because like
Yeah.
Fleur 2.0 is all.
Yeah, it's turning
cyborg.
into a J. Abrams movie. Now.
Sure is.
So many questions, no answers.
Let's say a dark mystery is we had a group of people try to dig into into shadows, all those little holes and stuff like that. We had a group of explorers try to dig into them to see if they can find the people who lived in the shadows, to see if maybe they were like Fleur and they got like taken or something like that, and they wanted to save their friends because now they're a little bit more courageous than they used to be back in the old days and stuff, or back earlier this year, I guess. And what they find at the
It's quite funny, like a couple months.
what they find at the end of these tunnels is that they don't seem to lead to like the belower hive or anything. They all just sort of stop, and the what's it called, the belowers that were in the ends of them are all like, they look like they've been dead a long time, like longer than they probably should be dead. As if to say that the belowers weren't necessarily the cause of why everyone went missing there, and whatever made everyone go missing there also affected the belowers there as well.
So there was a bunch of dead people found?
There was a bunch of dead belowers found.
Okay,
Into
okay.
the end
Yeah,
of the
but they
hole.
look like mummified to a point where it's like, these look like they've been dead for decades, but
Yeah.
but the dirt walls signify that this has been done seemingly after everyone went missing in the shadows.
Okay,
Yeah.
mummified belows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. I'm gonna...
Dave, I'm really excited to see how you draw this, though. I'm so excited.
Project Clocks Reduce. How does Glenjamin's infiltration go, Tom?
Benjamin infiltration.
I'm dying to know.
He's dead.
Benjamin, Benjamin died. No, Benjamin.
It died in week 2, I'm sorry.
He's initiated into the ranks of the Endless Watchers, and he's given one of the really wicked cool bows that they have. And after his ceremony, everybody all 6 of them are celebrating, and he sneaks off close to the woods, and he leans against a tree, and from the shadows, a voice goes, "So you're in now, huh?" And Benjamin just goes, "Yep." And he lights a cigarette, or whatever the equivalent is here.
He lights a
And
Lucky 7 cigarette.
he
lights a
lights a
banana.
Marlboro. and he takes one puff and flips it into the snow and stamps it out with his foot. And he's just like, "So you know what you got to do now?" And he goes, "Yep." And then he's just like, and then the voice says, "Well, there's no time. We'll prepare the next step. You just keep doing what you're doing and stay on their good side." And Benjamin goes, "Okay, Ron, I'll do that." And then he walks back towards his ceremony and gets another flagon of ale.
I have a question. Is this so? Canonically, there are only 5 bows. Do they make him a new one, or they give him one of the ones they had?
They give him one of the ones he had, because one of them was dead. Remember? One of them.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
one of the
Ron
bow went
stole
missing
it.
with him.
The
Ron
bow
took the
was
bow.
taken by Ron.
Oh, okay. They gave him a new one then. I
Okay,
guess.
cool. Make one.
So that means Ron also has one. So they're like
Yeah.
Bow brothers.
Yeah,
Ooh, even cooler.
the Bow brothers.
Oh my god!
And
was the
Benjamin flips his
coolest
hair.
twist. I would love for you to give Glenjamin like a wicked robe.
The
I can't-
bow. Throw the bow on his back. That's the end of this project.
They also cut one
Yeah.
of his eyes out, so he has an eye patch now.
No, I already gave Fleur
He already
2.0.
smokes.
He smokes now. Yeah.
Awesome.
I think
Dave,
it's also my
what's your
turn.
action?
That was the
Oh,
end of the
my
project.
action.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You get to do shit in this
Uh,
game.
I want to say, Well, how many projects do we have? Okay,
We're about to end. We're about to have 0 as of next week.
I want to say there's a new project that some of the braver people, I want to say some of the, because the Wanderers came back, right?
Yeah.
Not all the Wanderers, but some of the more brave Wanderers decided that they're going to stay in the shadows for a week.
Oh.
And just see what happens.
Okay.
See if they can figure out the mystery of what happened down there.
I like that. Cool.
Spend 1 week in the shadows and win $10 million.
Your turn.
Okay. Hold on a second. I need to finish this. He's gotta have his cigarette.
Here, I'll be right
Oh my
back.
god, he's Hawkeye.
Pretty much. Alright, there you go. He's got a cigarette.
Awesome.
He's the best character so far. But I mean, Fluid 2.0 is pretty fucking awesome. Alright,
It's like he did copy paste on their bodies.
I got a queen.
Alright. Right there. Uh-oh.
Oh, that's a good one.
God.
Disease spreads through the community. Choose one. You spend the week quarantining and treating the disease.
Oh, the real.
Oh, how it got
week?
real now. The project dice are not reduced this week, or nobody knows what to do about it. Add a health and fertility as a scarcity.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna do nobody knows what to do about it.
Oh, no.
But it doesn't choose sides though, and some of the Endless Watchers are sick and vulnerable.
Oh. What's this
but-
disease like, Tom?
The disease is lung lock. Because I'm not gonna make up another one. No, I'm joking. It's
unoriginal.
It's a disease where the people who have it, their noses seem to seep pus, like not from their nostrils, from like the pores on top of their nose, and their noses turn bright red. And I know I drew Glenjamin with a bright red nose, but he doesn't have it. Some people are asymptomatic. Glenjamin is luckily one of them, but Peter would not have been.
Peter?
Okay. That's
That's
it.
So
That happens.
Everything here.
And then
Yeah.
Okay.
Maria, how does the relocation project end?
Goodbye, Talons. I think that it is a hard fought thing, but I think that at least the tamed Talons, it's super easy to get them over there. Getting them to stay is another matter, but I think that it goes okay. I think that there's a couple of people who are injured in the process of trying to drive back the more like wild Midnight Talons. But they go away and they howl into the night. Wah-woo. Woo.
Wait, like, did we free them, or are we like, are they someplace we can get? Okay, all right,
yeah,
cool.
I mean, they're like we know roughly where they are,
okay.
But you know,
All right.
I'm back now, by the way. Did something happen?
The Midnight Talons went away. Woo.
And the Arm Ourselves project is finished as well.
No, the defensive project just still has 1
more?
week. The Shadow Sleepover, however.
You're right. That finishes. Yes, you're right.
So the shadow sleepover is done?
Yeah.
What was the thing that happened before all this, by the way? Because I went to put my...
like what I drew?
Yeah.
I don't remember. Oh, who knows? It was Tom, wasn't it?
it was probably me describing what illness they had.
Oh, everybody got an illness?
We got sick.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a disease that is spreading. We don't know how to take care of it, so nobody's quarantining or anything because I didn't want to fucking bother. But the people who have it, we're gonna call it. What should we call this? We're gonna call it goop knot.
Goop knot.
Goop snot it is. And basically the top of your nose, not your nostrils, seeps pus and your nose turns really red.
God, I
What the
hate it so much.
And like I said, although I drew Glenjamin with a red nose, he does not have it. But some of the Endless Watchers do, and they are vulnerable at the moment.
What if you don't have a conventional nose?
Yes, what if you're Hutch?
What if you're
Well,
a
Hutch is dead.
blower or a snail?
Yeah,
Oh,
there are
yeah,
many
yeah.
non-humans.
So
in
you
this
might
place.
be, you might not. I think not humans are asymptomatic.
Oh,
Hey.
yeah.
Oh, then
Well,
Glenjamin
okay,
is
so
something to do.
as far as the mystery below goes, the Wanderers come back. One of them is missing, and they found out that there's some sort of horrible thing that lives down there. It snatched one of them up, and like in such a way that like the way they described it was this tall, lanky thing that was like had claws the size of their arms, like the Wanderers' arms. When they hold up their arms, they go, the claws the size of this. And it's like this tall black figure that like they couldn't really make out the silhouette of, but it looked like humanoid in stature with giant claws, and it like doesn't walk or anything. It just kind of floats around, and it just snatched one of them and just kind of took him into the sky, and they like watched it kind of float up like towards the moon until they just couldn't see it anymore in the darkness. But some sort of horrible dark thing like has been snatching people up down there, and they don't know what it is, and they couldn't stop it, and they just decided maybe we should just leave that for another day because it doesn't seem to come up here. But some sort of horrible flying thing has been taking people down there.
I'm so glad you said all this.
I'm so
it's-
bad.
What's your reaction, Tom?
So we make a discovery. And it's the best. So Fleur wakes up in the hospital, and she pulls the, or what do you call? Let's see, what's the best way? How many like characters do we have, by the way? Just Glenjamin, right?
We have. I mean, like in this world, there's Ron, Glenjamin, Floor, the Watchers. And I think that's about it right now.
There's Rattato somewhere.
Rattato's somewhere, maybe.
Rattato's missing, but at this point, it's kind of assumed that whatever these things down there got them. Yeah.
There's
we
also
don't know exactly what they do.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Okay. Anyway. Okay.
There's also Telva, Orin, and Delia that are
okay. Well, anyway, Fleur wakes up in the hospital, and the Watchers have had people watching her essentially just to because she's a curiosity, so they didn't want to leave it as an unknown. So they put the new guy on it. Developing Glenjamin's story so much. And so she wakes up, she's like, oh, and she looks at Glenjamin, she's like, oh, a Watcher. He's like, what happened to you? What's going on with all the and she grabs him by the scuff of his throat. He's like, listen, I was part of the Blower War. They were fighting the Abovers down there in the shit, and they were just trying to help you guys stop the Abovers before it was too late. They gave you those bombs to use on them, and you just blew them up, you stupid. You just blew them all up. They got their own war going on down there. And I was part of it. I was a general. And Glenjamin's like, this is a lot to take in right now. I got like my own shit going now. She's like, we all have this shit going on now. This is something we all got to get involved in. And Glenjamin's just like, well, we gotta stop our Watchers first, and then we can fight the Abovers with the Blowers. The Blowers are good guys, right? He's like, those are good guys. I'm one of them. They made me into Fleur 2.0. And I'm basically a Terminator now.
They also call me Below Fleur.
Fleur. Yeah, they call me Fleur. Which is spelled flower. But it's spelled,
Jason.
it's pronounced Fleur.
Oh no.
Okay.
Ty, can you move? So Ty, if you go up, could you move your Midnight Talons up to the boundaries? That's where they are now. You should be able to just select. Yeah, and then just drag over top of them. Just don't get your Wanderers. Yeah.
Can't get part of Peter with me.
Goodbye.
No, Peter.
I'd hide.
All right. Jason.
Have we done a 3?
We have not.
someone leaves the community after issuing a dire warning. Who? What is the warning? Or someone issues the dire warning and the community leaps into action to avoid disaster. What is the warning? Start a contentious project that relates to it.
Well,
That
I
was
feel
one of
like
my
already
favorites.
I just handed you that one.
What would
You drew soldier stuff on the below.
Listen, if you do not change fleur to flower, I will revolt.
Flower. Contempt token. Contempt
I
token.
take a content token right
We
now.
haven't even used them.
Right now. You
Wait,
don't
how do
use
I-
them for anything. You just have them.
How do I do that?
You just with the selecty thingy, you just double click it.
Oh, I
Or
just
do that.
deleted it.
That's an option too. What do you want to do, Jason?
can you go back to the screen?
Oh yeah, sorry.
So we heard the warning from the war with the belowers.
The War of the Belowers.
Get it right.
And the whole community bands together. They start grabbing makeshift tools and weapons to gather arms to fight the belowers. And the project's going to be a lot of the equipment and time is going to shift to create weapons of war.
How long is that going to take?
2 weeks.
Okay.
What is that, Tom?
Is it a butt?
That's an abover.
I already drew it above her.
Oh, did you?
It's at
I
the
didn't
bottom
see
of
it.
the screen.
I didn't see it, but I have a feeling.
Yeah, no, they're both really bad. Like, this one's a butt at the top. The one on the bottom is an abomination and it's terrifying. And I didn't see
Oh.
it. And I scrolled down and I cried.
You said they fly. They can't
No,
fly.
they just
Floats.
kind
They
of float
float.
away.
Float.
Yeah,
Oh.
they're creepy. They're scary, not bugs.
Yeah.
Mine's
Oh, you
scary.
get a contempt token, sir. Sir, you get a contempt token for
No,
ruining
you
my
get a
baby.
contempt
Scary.
token. Steve.
My big
All right.
scary baby.
Okay, I'll delete mine.
The
Your
Arm
butt,
Ourselves
baby.
project finishes.
got
And
the
everything else
defenses
takes
up.
down. I think it's the only other thing that wait, what else is there?
The war weapons, that's it.
Oh, okay. The Arm Ourselves project, I think, especially because now this project started, I think there is in our community, there's kind of a new like push and renaissance for actual magic study. I think a lot of people start taking up like the actual like practice, research, study of just using magic. And we have, as a result, we have a large part of our populace that is now like fairly apt with wielding magic. And that's it. That's how our project finishes.
Yeesh.
Nice.
You can put like a magic wand as part of the Wanderer's symbol. That'd be kind of neat.
I'll do something.
Do whatever you want, but
Nice.
Do whatever the fuck I
whatever
want.
I said was the coolest thing. Just
No, what's your accent, Jason?
Peter's leg is missing.
Oh, I guess I have 2 then, right? Because that thing was the contentious project.
So that technically wasn't your action. That was something the card made you do. So you just have another. You can do whatever you want as your second action.
What were the action?
You can hold a discussion. You can make a discovery, or you can start a project. Any of those 3.
I will start a discussion.
And remember, if you start with a question, you have to make the last statement. If you start with a statement, you just make one, and that's it.
I think our biggest concern with the weapons, we need to go after the belowers.
What the fuck did you just say? What the? I'm Fleur in this. You've got it all wrong, man. It's the abovers.
I don't think that the belowers I think the abovers are actually the bad one. They're the ones that ate They ate us. Probably. The blowers are just below.
The blowers tried to give us grenades. And
You can't
flipped
talk
it.
twice. It's the
You
quiet
told me
here.
what?
When you talk, you're
I'm
quiet.
just so passionate about the blowers.
I think we
Oh,
should
that
stay out of
flower.
affairs that don't concern us.
I know I know you're all getting, heated and all up in arms about making weapons for this new war, but I'd like you all to keep in mind it's been about 3 weeks since we actually formed a new community here in our very own hometown. We've been a mess. I don't know if starting a war, being a part of a war that's not ours, is really a smart move right at this conjuncture.
We're also sick, by the way. I just want to remind everybody we're all totally fucking sick.
That's it. That's the end of discussion. Everyone's talked.
Hooray! I feel like something happened.
There's some
I feel
contention
like
in the community.
somebody said the wrong thing.
Was it Jason?
We need a sacrifice.
You just sacrifice to the blowers. Now this
There it is. There it is.
I got a 5 of clubs. The parish arrives. Who are they?
What?
Why have they chosen your community, and for what? For a small gang of marauders making its way through local terrain. How many are there? And what kind of weapons do they carry? Okay, this was I don't actually think I posted this in the chat you're in, Maria, but this was established in our other chat, another discussion, that there are kind of two schools of magic in this world we're playing in. One is kind of traditional study, which would encompass like kind of wizards, bards, that kind of stuff. Everything else falls into the category of a group called the Beloved, whether it be cleric or kind of paladin or warlock. It's just you have some sort of pact with an otherworldly entity, and that is the source of your magic. So I think the parish arrives. And it's not that there is a specific religion that they are under. They are a group that is looking for these beloved to kind of try and form religions from it. So they are looking for members of our community that have these innate magics without studying, without practice, without anything. And they're trying to weed those people out to kind of try to form a religion with them. And that is why they are here. I'll come up with a name for them because I don't have one right now.
If you don't draw a church, I will take a contempt token against you.
I will draw something.
Okay, cool.
I'll think of a name too. And that's it for that. Project clocks tick down. The weapons of war is now at 1.
No, the weapons of war are done.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I must not tick down. Yep. Jason, what happens?
You made us war weapons.
They're all very crude weapons. But
Wait. No, Maria, because that was on Jason's turn. It doesn't tick down for his turn if you traded on
Oh,
it.
you're right. Yeah, because he's yeah.
So that's still it.
That's at 1 now. Yeah.
Yeah, now it's
Never mind, nothing happened.
yeah, nothing
Just
happens
kidding.
yet. We're fucking low on projects.
Do something about our health. Our health fucking
Oh
sucks.
yeah. I
can't
think
have
that's
Use magic.
I think actually that's their in. I think part of this parish is that they already have some of these beloved with them that have kind of a nature of healing magics, and that is their foothold within our community, is they offer to kind of
Hey, I see you're
work
sick.
on us in order to let them stay here, and then they will begin figuring out who of this community has these abilities. And that is going to take, I think they're fairly apt. I think it's going to take like 2 or 3 weeks. I'll say 3. Secure the community. Or cure goop snot. Cure goop snot.
I just wrote down heal us of our pus.
Heal us.
I read that way wrong.
I'm so sorry.
And that's it. That's it for me.
Cool. I got a 7.
No.
Bop, 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 bop.
A project just isn't working out as expected. Radically change the nature of this project. Don't modify the project die. When it resolves, you'll be responsible for telling the community how it went. Or something goes foul and supplies are ruined out of new scarcity. Oh no. Okay. God, this is too much. This responsibility is big. So I think that the war weapons are just not vibing with the community as much as they thought it would. There's a lot of Flower is very adamant about not fighting the belowers, and I think that's kind of put people in a weird. The belower, the one belower, the belower, is kind of put people in a weird spot. So instead of making war weapons, I think instead they take the things that they had constructed, the project that they had started making, and I think instead they turn towards what do we need still? I think they take the supplies that they had and they actually turn more towards the community as a whole. Instead of wanting to fight, I think they're also going to help with the current health issue and are going to beef up and expand the hospital and the medical care center area. Make like a legit hospital and not like, old Dr. Johnson's
we've said
backyard.
Hospital, but I think we've had like barely any buildings up, and we just built buildings.
Yeah. Make an actual hospital.
We'll take these weapons and kill off the infected.
Yeah. Yeah. So there we go. That's how that's gonna change radically. And then wouldn't you know it, that actually finishes this turn. Wow.
Wow. How does it finish?
So I think they actually reformed the wheelhouse because they're going to start. I think what they're using, the resources that they gathered for making all these weapons, they found that it actually works. The mechanisms that are in the wheel and the some of them that they've managed to salvage from the wheel itself kind of work together. They don't quite have like electricity, but they have something that's pretty close to it. So I think that they changed the wheelhouse. The wheelhouse is now changed to the health shack.
The health shack. Hell yeah.
Working
the
9
health
to 5 at the
Of the
health
health
shack.
Baby.
Health shack. And then the healing goes down to 2. Oh, I should hang on. I know what to put on. There. Bank. We did it. And then for my action, geez, there's a lot of things happening on this map right now.
There's a whole bottom left corner that has jack shit in it.
It has nothing. It has absolutely nothing. Okay. I think I'm gonna start a project for the Wanderers to try to go out and see if they can find where these quote-unquote abovers live.
What's in the above box?
Where's in the above box?
Then the audience watching at home is just like, oh, come on.
I can't pull this out 3 seasons in a row.
Right.
They can't keep getting away with it.
But I think that's well, okay. Any projects? Here's the thing: any projects that they don't pass over into winter, do they?
Projects continue, yeah.
Do they continue? Okay, so
Yeah,
this is gonna take, I think, the full 6 weeks because we have nowhere to start from, except for up, and we can't go up. So I think it's gonna take the full. Like,
What do you call this project?
Well, I called it "What's in the Abover Box," but it's the Wanderers are going to go find where the Abovers live. So, where Abovers be?
Okay.
Jason, you get the not Jason. Dave.
Nope, it's Dave.
Tom? Dave.
What?
Dave.
One of those Brunos. You get. I think it's just 10, right?
Yep, that's it.
Got it,
Number
Jack.
Add it up.
I
It's
got
10.
it.
It's 10.
I can't.
It's-
There it is.
It's a 10.
It's
Just
number
read 10.
Harvest here is harvest is here and plentiful at an abundance, or cold autumn wind drives out your enemies. Remove a threatening force from the map in the area. Finally, I can wipe the blowers out from this fucking map. No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Let's see.
I'm gonna get contempt token just for saying it.
For
Which is
faking
funny
it.
because the blowers live below, so the winds don't bother them.
Yeah,
They're
nice
gonna
try,
be those
idiot.
buffers,
God.
enemies since the beginning.
Let's see.
Nice try, idiot.
Nice try, dumbass. Harvest is here and plentiful. I want to say harvest is here at an
Yeah, that's
abundance.
Solid.
Yes.
I want to say all of our efforts for using magic, we've started cultivating like a field, and the magic has made the crops kind of grow faster than we thought. Like using the technology or the knowledge that we learned from studying the magic crystals and everything like that. So we managed to make crops in almost no time flat. In which case, we now have like a functioning village that like we aren't worried terribly much about natural resources running out, like because of bad weather or anything. And I like to imagine that looks pretty cool because it's like a farm, but like the fence posts corners are like all crystals, and they plant crystals occasionally in the middle of the field and everything like that. So you have like these glowing crystals maybe floating above the crops that are just kind of keeping them all warm and stuff.
I'm
Cool.
so excited to see you draw that, Dave.
Oh,
in that
yeah.
blank ass space in the bottom left corner.
And that big fucking blank ass space. And then, yeah, so we have an abundance of, I guess you could say farm or whatever, but...
Crops!
Project go down. 1 more till Goop's not as feared, and 5 weeks till what's in the above box. And what is your project, or discovery, or discussion?
Let's see. Project, discovery, or discussion. I want to say, we make a discovery. The ice dryads come back. Like Telva and what's-her-face.
Or in Delia.
Yeah, they all come back, and they have dire news that the ice dryads are the forest. They're concerned about the forest and the taking, like the crystals are going down, and they haven't been able to replenish them or anything like that. So the discovery is the ice dryads request help to cultivate more crystals. Because they found ever since you guys started taking crystals from the forest that it's coincidental at best, but their crops have been dying and stuff, and they think it's because the crystals have been taken from the forest. So the ice dryads actually show everyone where the crystals can be cultivated, like the source. Instead of getting them from the forest, they get them from like this. I want to say this part of the mountain that seemed inaccessible, but like it was hidden behind some kind of magic veil, and they want you to help replenish the forest crystals before it's too late. Their elders are extremely scared about the lack of crystals in the forest and the earthquakes that have been happening as a result, because maybe their elders actually know why they plant the crystals, but everyone else just thinks it's for the luck of the thing. Yeah, but the elders know that it's like, if we don't plant the crystals, a giant monster is going to eat us all.
We will die.
So yeah, the discovery is we now know where the crystals are being made.
And with that, we will switch to winter, our final season here in the quiet year.
Hey, I'm gonna get a snack real quick.